Hello, my name is Kevin Abraham and I'm going to explain my as PHP database connection and cookies. So I'm supposed to design a registration and login system in PHP using cookies and MySQL connection. Use MySQL database to store user details and cookies to remember user details in the local machine. Now I have some parts. Now part 1 is making the database connection, and this is the syntax for that. I use font for that. Then I create database company. If it does not exist, I have to refer or create the database PDF. Then I set the date. Part 2 is to write the registration form, and this is the syntax. I'll show you the registration form after I run the program. Then part here I have to use SHA for getting this password. SHA is a method to decrypt a password. And now this is the web page I need. So this is sign up page, so I have to type the username, email address, password, and I have to retype the password, and then press the submit button. Part 3 is to write the login form, and this is the web page, login web page. So I have to type the register number and password, and then have to hit the login button. Part 4 is where I have to reset the password form. So this is the web page. Here I have to type the username, email address, and then just type the new password I want, and I can just change the password. So this is syntax for that. Part 5 is remember me. There's this checkbox called keep me signed in. That's remember me. So the box is checked. If the box is checked and login is successful, save a cookie that identifies the user to the server or further visit to the login page. If the cookie is set, then redirect the user to a welcome page. Now this again is the syntax. Welcome username. Now let's go to the coding. Now this is the coding for the index. In body I've set the size, margins, borders, background, padding, etc. Now we have a function called checkpass. I have two variables, var1 and var2. Now here I've passed a value for pass and repass here, and suppose that this is for actually the sign up page where we type the password in variable 1, and here when we retype the password it gets stored in variable 2. So over here we check if var1 and var2 matches. If it does not, we alert password not match, and we return false, otherwise we return true. Then in the sign up page I have a method called post, and my action is server script.php. And on submit I return to check pass as this function, and email address. So here I type in the username, email address, password. So for username and email ID the input type is text, while for password the input type is password, and even for retype password the input type is password. Now I have a button called the submit button, and its value is register. Now this is the form. Now this I shall run it. Okay, I got this. So I type Kevin, then asef@gmail.com, password I put a random password, then I click on register. So now I'm registered to this. Welcome Kevin. Now if you see the local host, if I press go, this will take some time. Now you can see Kevin is added to the database. Now if I go back, now going to the login page, the login page here is said we are supposed to set usernames and passwords using cookie. Now here we have if you set cookie of username, and we have header. This is the header. Now in if set I'm supposed to get the value, so I get the username through cookie. Here I have stored the username value in the username variable, and then I set cookie username or username, and I set this as time. Now if suppose this condition is correct, this gets executed, otherwise we write echo cookie is not set. Then we have the login here. Here I have set the font size, the margins, the borders and the background color, etc. Now this is the main function, the login click. So here I get the login form dot submit, then login register. The form action is validate login.php. The method I use is post. Now here I'm supposed to type the username and password. Username is of input type text and password of type password. Now input type checkbox, I have memory checkbox here, and I have the button, login button. Now then I press sign up. So when you run this, now this is the page of the login page. Now when I type my username and password, then it shows this message, login successful, welcome Kevin. Now going back to the coding, this is where we use the conn variable to connect the system to the database. Now if suppose this is true, we get an error, otherwise this gets run, all these codes. So we have to pass the username, email and the password, and in query we insert into users these many values, the username, password and email, and we store this in the result. Now if the result is not true, we get an error, otherwise we get, that means if the credentials are true, that it runs successfully, then we get a welcome username. And username is a variable where our username is being stored. Now validate login, here we set the body, we set the size, margin, border, etc. Now here we establish the connection between the system and the host. Now if we check here, if the connection is not true, we get an error, otherwise we log in using cookies. You enter the username and password using the post as well. Now here I select start from users and username. Now here it displays the username and the information. Here result, I check if the result is true. If not, I show an error. It shows an error. Now here I have syntax records equal to MySQL num rows of result. Now here if the records is if the record is not equal to 0, then we start the session. So we post remember, and using that we get a username and login. If login is successful, we print login successful, and we type welcome username. It's the variable which shows the name of username, and we have had a header location login.http. Now if suppose the verification is wrong, we go back to login.php page, and yeah, this is syntax for changing the password. So here as usual set the body, and we have some function called sub. Here this is the PHP syntax. Here we establish the password, establish the connection. If the connection is not true, we get an error, otherwise this codes gets executed. And here we update the password over here. Now if the password matches, we get fail, otherwise we get otherwise it becomes true, and changing the password will be successful. For example, changing the password here, I just click here. Now they ask us to change the password to another password as here, and press submit. So who says okay, so password has been successful. Yeah, and that's all for my video. Thank you.